Welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt with myself, Duncan, and Mike.
Hello.
Mike, ahoy. What's the name of the episode today, bud?
We're on episode 22, and the episode is called Cal Horrific, the Christmas Run-In.
Christmas is coming, isn't it? People are going to deny it, but it's on the way.
We need those like little Christmas bells now, like Rudolph just in the background.
Little ding.
People will get stressed to hell straight off.
Mince pies, I expect them to hit the shelves on the 1st of September, or at least the 1st of October.
You know Amazon's going to be coming up with some like mistletoe stuff just suddenly appearing.
Oh, for sure. I was, we were in at the Philippines one Christmas. Not Christmas, actually that's wrong. It felt like Christmas because it was actually September, and they were playing Christmas music at every meal on every single day, and this was like mid-September. So in the Philippines, they get on that stuff early, right?
Well,
but that's not what it's about. It's not about. This isn't a podcast about celebrating Christmas. This is a podcast about the calorie run into Christmas and trying to trim back, find a
sweet spot.
Yeah, just do yourself a favor in that run up to Christmas, and whiskey's a part of that, right? The calories that you consume in whiskey. So. What's been in your glass in this last week, Mike?
So we did the latest blind drams. That was good. Yeah. We had some good stuff. One of my favourites. Luckily, I gave it a good score, and I had some in the cupboard. So it was the yellow edition of the whiskey makers Ben Rinnis, which is finished in a Bordeaux red wine barrique. 57.4%.
I can see as you're holding up now. I can see all the pearl necklace formed around the top of it.
Yeah, that's because I did get excited. Yeah, no, it's a lovely dram. Really, really good. Just a hell of a lot going on. As you know, I'm a red wine pervert as it is. So yeah, that just spicy, loads of funnily enough, Christmas cake notes.
That wasn't the one that had the muddy potatoes in it as well.
That was the new band, yeah. The Muddy Potatoes coming to a stage near you soon, fronted by Cliff.
Yeah, if that was a band though, that would probably be country music, wouldn't it? The Muddy Potatoes.
Yeah, maybe
or
like
folk.
I'd say no. Do you know what? It's got like an Irish country band or Irish.
Okay, like Irish
rock.
Folk then.
Yeah,
Irish folk rock.
Yeah, that's it.
The Muddy
Irish
Potatoes.
Folk rock, the Muddy
and
Potatoes.
that's in no.
No.
Wait, a band name has potatoes in it, and you immediately go to Ireland. I'm just
Obviously.
saying. Sorry about that.
Keith Lemon wasn't famous for nothing. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't saying turnips, was he?
Potatoes. Yeah, that's true.
So that's been in my glass along with some other things, but that's the one I'm supping on this evening, and it's delightful. How about yourself, good sir?
Well,
what are you drinking right now? You gonna be honest?
I've had a cup of tea. I've had a cup of tea, and I would still have tea in my mug, but you were a little late coming onto the pod today. Mm-hmm. You made me wait. I saw you. Yeah, I see what you're doing. Power games, just making me sit around.
I thought that was tomorrow's recording. You got
your secretary to contact me, and I was on hold. I was on hold for 10 minutes before this.
So what were you getting on the nose? Your cup of tea? What's your brew time?
Free time. It was. We should change the episode today to honest to a brew, right?
Honest to a brew.
No, so I'm just having a cup of tea. I had quite a big week. I was off work, just to be clear, and family visit. And parents like to have a drink most days. Most days, I mean all days.
Love it.
There was obviously new football season, so there was stout being consumed. So here are my highlights from the week. My dad had a Tennessee 16-year-old. Remember the one that I said I bought for him that he had with ice, right?
Did he say it's nice?
He did say it's nice. And because I was there, we were able to have it without ice.
Beautiful.
Which was lovely. And that was really good. And I think it was Brian Volker, aka the Time Lord, who pointed out, did you get, the sort of fruitiness and the kind of like salinity coming through? And I do actually. And I'm going to just say it again. I've said it before. I'm a massive fan of George Dickel aged. I assume it's George Dickel aged.
Pretty much if it's coming out of Tennessee, isn't it?
Bourbons. They are excellent. So I had that. Also, Sabina 12, classic, isn't it? Can't go wrong. On the stout level, I tried that Brewdog Black Heart. I'm not a fan of BrewDog generally, but they're selling it for £10 for 10 cans in Tesco's at the moment.
Only for club card members. You've got to be
only
in
for
that
club
exclusive club.
Yeah, but how difficult is it to get a club card? I mean, they all have a club card, can't they? It's not like you don't have to.
What?
You don't have to do a tough mudder to get a club card.
I thought it was like VIP.
No.
I like stroll in, like as if I got my own like lane when I walk in.
No.
Just, like, push to the front. Excuse me, I got a club card.
They've got more stout up north. I feel like anyway in just general pubs. So it's a Robinson's pub which has some sort of weird. I think Robinson's is into rock or something. So it was like one Iron Maiden beer, and then they had a stout called Pitch. I think I sent you a picture of it. Really good, like oatmeal, and the BrewDog one, the Black Heart one, has like hazelnut, caramel in it, coffee.
Nice,
all good.
I had a really good one midweek as well. From I was down in the New Forest, just
Right.
for a couple of nights, and found a little brewery.
Baby Moon.
Yeah, two brothers and a cousin just set it up in their garden. They grow their own hops. They do everything on site. And they've got a milk stout. Company's called the Pig Brewery.
Their
milk
Brewery.
stout is black, but they also do a like milk stout with a bit of cherry sort of like flavouring to it. Oh my God, I tried it yesterday.
That sounds good.
That we're talking about not having calories before Christmas. This is what you want before Christmas. Like a nice cherry stout. It was stunning. So
Did you take any home with you then?
Yeah, I got some in the fridge.
Wow.
Got some here, but I would they're really cheap and they do delivery. So have a look at their website, Pig Beer Brewery in the New Forest.
Right.
Go and check them out.
We'll chuck the link to that one because that's an independent in the podcast description. All right,
Yeah.
so you can just click on the description of the podcast, and that might just discover that when it's down there. I'm glad you clarified further because when you said two brothers and a cousin, is that what you said?
Yeah.
My mind was immediately going to like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Ding 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 ding.
You were like, I went to this place, two brothers and a cousin. I was like, oh, where is this going? How long?
They took
how long
me
until
down to the woods and there's a bit of moonshine.
Yeah, how long until they took you off the hook? Right?
Yeah.
What else
We
I
got
have?
some meat on the bones on this one.
That's right. As long as it's not the remake, they were terrible. I had the Dalwhinnie Distillers Edition, decent. Finished off a Wee Mongrel too.
Is that good? So I've always seen that like come up now and again, obviously, again on topic. Towards Christmas, it always seems to reappear again.
It's not exceptional. It's just
Worth it?
right. Yeah.
A few moments later.
Not
I'm going to say no.
Not really. I mean, it's all right.
You'd be
But,
happy
you know,
with it if someone bought you a bowl.
Yeah, I totally drink it, but
Yeah.
I think you can get better things for the money, can't you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can, and very Oloroso, right? And you know, felt more cask driven really than spirit driven. That's what I would say. Also, have to shout out to Pad Whiskey, Andrew. He sent me some samples. I sent him some samples back. Also, he did his own research. I sent him Springbank Handfill, local barley, and he already had his own 10. And amongst some other samples I sent him, and he sent me some back. And he tried them, though it wasn't blind, but his favourite was the Handfill, not the local barley. Super
Interesting.
controversial. Yeah.
ABV
So-
maybe?
There's probably about 4 or 5% in it. So I don't think it's that. He just said he edged it for him slightly. But just a really good point there. We've been saying Handfill varies quite a lot. And it could just be like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old majority, but it could have some older stuff in it, like 10,
Yeah.
15 years. You know, it's generally very Springbank, right? So just a tip, you know, as we said, if you get hold of it and try it, you might find that it fills that hole in your aching heart.
If you can find it on an auction site that Duncan's not bidding on. Single-handedly taking out the entire handfill to actually drink, though.
Yeah. And in last one was in Blind Drams, that Talisker. I was really happy to try that. You mentioned the Ben Rinners. That's excellent. That's super interesting. But that Talisker was, I think it was like 120 quid a bottle. It's always nice when you get things like that come up because you're not going to buy a bottle of that for 120 quid, are you? I mean, some people will, but we're not going to.
It was lovely, but no way am I spending that on a Talisker. Sorry.
Yeah. I think I was shouting that, saying it was really similar to the Ardnamurchan Fire Festival SMWS. In the end, it wasn't that one, but I wasn't a million miles away, right? In terms of like
as soon as something is out of that price range where it's £10 a year for me, I can't justify it. Like
so
£10 a year, I can just about to myself tell myself that I'm getting a good deal.
So what was it? Like, was it a 10-year-old?
I think it was a 9, wasn't it?
All right,
Maybe, or
so-
am I getting confused?
So it would have needed to be like 90 quid then, basically. For this
Yeah.
thing. All right,
Yeah,
okay,
like 120 or something. I'm like, no.
Hey, so what's been annoying you this week? What's been up your ass?
Oh God, what has been annoying me this week? I wouldn't say annoying me. I think I'm going to say more panicking, because obviously natural events are speeding up quite quickly in my house, and it's not very long until I have the sounds of a screaming baby in my ears.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff you need to buy and prep is unbelievable. Like, again, like we're doing antenatal classes, like just the things they talk about, I had no idea, like all the different options. And
So go on, give us a couple of examples, because I've been through this. We've got
just like like the things like the epidural. I was like, okay, I thought that was just a given that you had one. No, that's optional.
No, it's
Depends
optional.
which one you do. There's ones that can cross over the placenta into the baby and you feed it. It basically comes out like pissed. You're like, oh my God, like what the hell?
Oh, I don't remember any of that detail now. I'm sure we went through at the time. We went to all those same classes, but
Yeah.
can't remember
TENS
that.
machines, breathing techniques, massage.
Oh my gosh, the TENS machines, yeah.
Yeah. And like you had to sit across from your wife or your partner and do the breathing exercises. And I look up and I'm doing it. And she's like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'll do it on the day. Oh my.
You're sitting there giving it
Yeah. Talk about role reversal. I'm really into it. Going, yeah, this is relaxing. This is like bringing my blood pressure down. It's really nice. She's like, nah.
Did you get have you had the session when they get all the balls out and stuff? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was all in that same one as well.
Right.
And then squatting against the wall. And you have to like lean against the wall forwards. And I'm like, hey, stop and search. And like, oh, yeah. It was just a bizarre. But yeah, there's just so many things. Like, who knew there were so many different types of sterilizers, different bottles.
You're really paying attention. Props to you.
Oh, mate, hospital bag. You got to pack the hospital bag. You got to put everything in bags. You got to know where it is.
My top tip for you is however much food you pack for yourself, absolutely quadruple it. Because like if you think you've got enough food, if you end up staying down there for longer than you expect, just get as much food as possible in. Because I don't know what you're like when you get stressed or nervous. Some people don't eat, but I eat.
Look at the size of me. What do you think?
So you're an eater. Look, Mike, I didn't like to say. I could, but obviously I've observed. I was just being nice. So you're an eater. So your hospital bag should be half the stuff that she needs, and the other half of it should be filled with food for you. Or do 2 hospital bags, one for the lady, and one for you. And your one is just stuffed with food. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
what
it.
she said to me.
And
You're
a
on
fresh
snacks.
t-shirt. And a fresh t-shirt.
Yeah. Know the route to the hospital and snacks. That's it. That's what I need from you.
Yeah, and then when you're there, you just park up outside like you're doing a bank robbery. And you just sit in the car for like 6 hours parked outside. And at some point, she comes running out with a baby. Then she'll only eat out if you've got a car seat.
I think that was my dad. That's what my dad did. I think my dad like turned up. He started wetting the baby's head before I was born.
Yeah.
So yeah, turned up half cut. Well done, Dad.
I got into loads of trouble on the first one because I kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to be down the pub, etc." But obviously, I wasn't, and I was there, and I would never have been down the pub. But I kept joking about it. It's like,
and do you know, like baby showers, not necessarily a thing anymore. There's now a thing called a sip and see,
right? What's
which
that?
is done after the baby's born in a pub, and then they all just go and have a drink, all the girls or whatever.
Right, because one of them hasn't been drinking for a long time. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they get on the old prosecco
So many things.
or whiskey.
So-
If they're drinking whiskey, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's not up my arse, but in the forefront of my mind, should we say?
Right.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I haven't slept very well for a few days, and I don't know if you get this, but basically, if I don't sleep much, like my nails grow like at this unbelievable rate. I get.
Oh
I
my
get-
God! Honestly, you
I get
now.
I get like
Duncan's
claws.
hands are on the table and he's scratching his eyelids. He's just
Yeah, they just.
like Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. Do you remember the guy
No,
with
I-
massive nails?
I had to cut them before doing the podcast because it was really getting on my nerves because they got too long, and they just grow at an exceptional rate. And also your hair, like your facial hair, grows more as well. I think if you don't sleep, if I'm wrong on that, I don't care. I'm just going to stick with it.
I think that's it. You just look like you haven't slept.
So basically, I had like a sort of hygiene session, and I haven't been 100%. And you know, you get like wax in your ears. when it's like a lot, right? And I feel like I could have probably made a Glencairn from.
Oh,
everything.
mate, that just means you run down.
Yeah,
That's
I think
generally
what it
just
is.
run down.
It's
What you
probably-
need is a nice long bath with some like scented balls in there, like nicely scented, not yours. And then candles. Just properly get in the zone, chill out, do your breathing exercises, take a dram in there.
That's not really my vibe, though. Anyway,
Try it.
So I'm probably not having a drink today because I had a day off yesterday, day off today, and then I will be having a few more days off in the run into Christmas. Oh, we have a listener's story on smuggling
Do we?
whiskey into.
Oh, excellent. It's been
place.
a while.
Yeah, so we need to be very careful and protect the identity of this person as always.
Yeah.
So this
we do
person
not give up our sources.
Exactly. So this person's called Derek Savaloy. It's a real name.
It is.
No, it's not a real name. It's a real fake name. So Derek Savaloy.
Savaloy.
Savaloy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I love your Green Day t-shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
And that was the album with Dookie on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Derek Savaloy was, I think, holidaying and was going to his caravan. Was staying in his caravan with his missus. He'd recently bought too much whiskey. He suggested something in the region of 3 bottles in the last 10 days or 2 weeks.
Too much.
Something.
That's too much. That's stress.
Too much. You've got a problem.
Unnecessary stress.
He's got a problem, hasn't he? So in order, this is the bit I love about it. In order to get it safely in without, I think it might have been a new bottle of Dingle as well, the Luminissa or something. Although I don't know that for sure, but I think it might have been that bottle. But in order to get this bottle safely into the caravan in which they were staying, he smuggled it in, and this is the great bit, under a layer of beer. So beer was okay.
Beer is socially acceptable.
Beer is socially acceptable. That's fine. He's allowed to have the beer.
But sneaking 3 bottles in.
But no, no, it was a new bottle of whiskey. That was the problem. The thing I don't understand this is, once he snuck the bottle of whiskey in,
You've got to open
if
it.
the eagle-eyed person would spot that it's a new bottle.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know if he opened it and then just claimed it was already an existing open bottle.
Opened it, caned a quarter of it.
Yeah. Just the biggest netball you've ever seen.
That's a breakfast, love.
Anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for sharing your story about how you smuggled a bottle into your caravan stay.
Love it.
Appreciate that. So, calories.
Yes.
I've wanted to do this pod for a while, and we haven't done it, so now we're finally doing it. So we're onto this pod subject: calories in booze. Right? It's not just the calories in booze, is it? It's kind of what goes with it. Everyone has different bodies, right? Some people are just able to drink, and they don't put any weight on. Now, I think you're like me. You put weight on, right?
Well,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily from the whiskey, but for me, it's once you've had 2 or 3 whiskeys, I'm getting the munchies.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm gonna
get that as well.
snack, and you're not going to be snacking on like chopped peppers and tomatoes and stuff.
Carrots.
Let's be perfectly honest. You're not just going in and getting some celery sticks. Be like, oh, it's got high water content. That'll fill me up. No, you're going to be mullering biscuits or crisps.
Is that what you go for? Biscuits and crisps?
Yeah, if it's there.
What about cheese or nuts or just meat? I sometimes just eat meat.
If there's a whole packet of like, the Aldi or Lidl packs you get, like Germans, like sliced meat with cheese, I'll muller that. If it's there, that's gone. I'll just have that.
Yeah,
And
sliced meat with
at the
cheese.
time, I'm like convincing myself, it's protein. It's all good for you. Despite the fact that it's like 30% fat.
So the framing of this is we're coming towards the end of August. Well, we're past mid-August, right?
Yeah.
And then before we know it, into September, and then before you know it, you're into October, and then you're heading towards Christmas. I have the same horror each year as I come towards Christmas. If I'm not losing weight, I'm already panicking that Christmas is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, how much am I going to put on? Because there's no way you can go for... December's one of the greatest months of the year. Yeah. December absolutely rocks because everyone's in the Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
You're going out for extra drinks with friends, extra meals, there's, whether it, however, forget just about Christmas Day, it's about everything that goes around it, right?
Yeah.
So I've kind of got to go in with a good run. I do enough exercise, or I certainly do some exercise, I run every week and whatever. So it's really about what I'm eating, right? And you talked about getting the munchies or whatever, but it isn't just about that for me. So let's say, for example, that I don't know if everyone knows this, but like if it's a 40% whiskey and it's generally sort of 70-ish calories, right?
Yeah.
Or 75, it's something in the region. Who cares about 5 calories here or there? Doesn't matter, does it? But if it's a 60% whiskey, it isn't 70 calories. It's like 105 calories for a 25 mil. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm
the
a cask
ABV
strength fatty.
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot more calories in like stronger whiskey, just like there's more calories in stronger beer.
That's probably because there's more flavour and fats in it that's been stripped out by chill filtration.
Well, it's
That's
got less
my
water in it,
answer.
hasn't it? It's got less water in it.
Yeah.
So ABV is directly the amount of water that's in the product, right? Isn't it? Because it's been mixed down.
Yeah.
So the stronger it is, the more calorific it is. So if you have, say, let's say you have 5 single cask strength whiskies, that could be, say, 90 calories times 5, even if they're just 25 mils.
Yeah.
If they were more than 25 mils, so that's like 450 calories. That's like having dessert, right? And that's still about 2 pints worth. You could have 2 pints, or you could have the whiskey, and your body finds it easier to break down whiskey than it does to break down beer. So in that sense, it's better. But it's still 450 calories, and it adds up. And then there's this other thing, which is that when your body's processing alcohol, booze, it can't break down the other fats. Yeah, it can't break down the other fats. So basically, look, this is what the short of it is, I need to find some space. I need to make sure I create a week here, a week there, maybe even a month or whatever, where I'll just have no alcohol, so I can just let my body process and break down fat.
So you're talking about dry January in like dry November, just a preempt.
Maybe, or maybe just
fat.
a week. Maybe just a week every month for the next 4 months, right? Or 10 days every month or something like that. It could just be a week. It could just be from one pod to the next pod, right?
Yeah.
But I need to do that, and that will reduce the amount of munchies, right? So less carrots and peas, less celery and cucumber.
Yeah.
The local grocery will be bereft of business.
Yeah. But I suppose it is easy to get carried away with like whiskey because you think of it as a healthier drink in comparison to a pint.
I think so.
It doesn't fill you up. You haven't got that bloated feeling. And like you could easily have 4 or 5 whiskeys and feel fine. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you're not full. Hence, you then, when you get that urge to eat, potentially could be worse than beer.
Well, I don't know if it's worse than beer, but I think what happens is everyone concentrates on units, don't they? Like the number of units of alcohol consuming. But people forget so much about the sort of calories. And people talk about calories in beer, but not really in spirits. If anything, vodka's given spirits a sort of this sort of it's okay label. The whole vodka lemon, vodka lime,
lime soda.
Yeah, but if you have like a triple, that's still going to be 210 calories, right?
Yeah.
Which is a pint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you only have a single, fair enough. But if you're going to have a triple vodka lime soda, and if it was decent vodka and above 40%, then it's still going to be the same as a pint. So you might as well add a pint, right?
That's actually really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Plus the calories from the cordial.
Yeah. Sorry, 215 calories.
Yeah.
No, but it's a real thing. So this is really playing on my mind as we come into the run up to Christmas. I need to make sure that I lose some weight before we get to December. And I've only got 3 and a bit months to do that now.
Challenge is on, mate.
I feel like what we're gonna do, we're gonna wait. We're gonna have a weigh-in every week. do you have our H-Tam Weight Watchers? Your face now. Your face now. You're like, no.
You'll hear on the pod my exhale of breath going, not sure I'm into that, if I'm honest.
I thought you were just doing those breathing exercises. From,
Woosa! No, I think, like I said to you the other day, I put the scaffolding around both of my knees and went out for a run. And I was like, if I can get to like 2-3K, I'll be happy because my knees are now basically made of paper mache. And got through a 5K, and I was like, right, if I can do that, I'm going to build it up. I'm not going to do what I did last time and just go skinny and do like 3 10Ks and then wear out whatever muscle is left around my knees.
Right.
But if I could just do 2 5Ks a week, I reckon that's enough to sort of start the downward trend.
take the edge off it. For me,
yeah.
it's just more diet than exercise. I already do what you just said, and that helps. I find if I do exercise like a few days in a row, say I ran like 3 days in a row, my metabolism kicks into a different gear, and then I can almost eat whatever I want. But if I don't have time to do that much exercise, then I have to be really careful about what I eat.
Yeah,
and I'm just not at the moment. So I'm just saying, if I'm not where I want to be, come end of October, I'm probably going to have like 3 weeks off in November.
That's going to make. Yeah, I'll just do double the drinking on the pod. It's fine.
You just drink.
What's been in your glass? More tea.
Just tea, coffee.
What's been in yours? Wow, I've had 2
sparkling
samples
water
already.
I probably won't do that. I'll probably just do a week off a month, like in between pods in the run up to Christmas, and just try to get as much running as possible, and make sure that I have like 3 days off a week or something in all other weeks. But what I'm saying is it's a calorie thing, not a units thing. It's more calories than units, I think.
Yeah, I'm in my head. I'm thinking if I can burn an extra 2,500 calories a week in exercise, that's a day of no eating, and that's eating
like 5 runs.
To the normal thing. Yeah, it's about like do gym stuff and things in between.
All right, okay.
But yeah, that's like one starvation day, basically the equivalent of.
Oh, have you thought about? I've seen people talking about that, doing like the whole one day of just not having anything, fasting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Don't know. I feel like it's just jumped up rubbish.
I think when I was in India for a bit, they would do like fasting, but not for like a day. That would be like child's play. They'd do fasting for like 7 to 14 days. And so they would literally have nothing except water for 7 to 14 days, which is like hardcore.
That's like me the week before payday. Oh yeah, fasting, fucking skin.
Yeah.
What diet are you doing? The fucking broke as fuck diet.
The broke diet, right? Yeah. Yeah. So if you fast for longer, then I can believe it, because basically you can imagine that if your body goes into like survival mode and you get like 7 days, and you don't eat for 7 days, your body probably starts fixing stuff, like repairing things like your eyes and your maybe it'll repair your knees, right? If not, you can just inject olive oil into them. Right?
I need other things for my knees, which involves operations and things like that. So yeah, tough
break, isn't it? Yeah. So that's my goal then, basically, in just have more time off the booze and more careful eating and more exercise in the run into December, right?
I'll help monitor
fit for
you,
Christmas.
Motivate, and if you fail, absolutely ram it up your ass.
Yeah, cheers for that.
Just straight out there, like, you have messed up, mate. What are you doing? Have a look at yourself.
Take a look. You can
I eat Mars bars.
I think if it doesn't work out, whatever you're doing in your current career, you can always have a job running a Weight Watchers class by the sound of it, right?
Yeah. I'd be like that woman off Little Britain.
Take a look at yourself.
Yeah. What have you eaten? Just have a bit of dust. Yeah, just have a bit of dust as she's eating a bag of crisps.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it? So anyway, that's basically my mission. That's it. I'm going to get myself into better shape ahead of Christmas. And we'll see how it goes, and try to balance out the drams and
avoiding the Christmas nightmare.
Avoid rubbish alcohol.
Yeah.
Make
the calories that you are actually intaking useful. So that's fair.
And try not to snack as much if I can.
Yeah. Do you know what my Christmas fear? Now you mentioned it with whiskey. Do you know what's immediately popped into my head?
Is it no one buys you any whiskey?
No, everyone buy me whiskey. Please send me whiskey. Feel free.
Okay, what is it then?
It won't be long until we see the Christmas Santa wish list again all over every social media page.
Oh, my days, yeah.
It's not going to be long.
When does it actually start? Does it start like
don't know,
October or something?
It won't be that long until X is full of wishes. I just did it last year. I asked for the Glenn Farkless cabinet of every single, their annual release.
Like the 100 grand cabinet.
It was 43 grand or something stupid.
Right,
That's the only thing I wished for.
Well, I think last year I was lucky enough to get a Glen Murray Oloroso Warehouse edition. So,
Glen Murray, nice.
Glen Murray, yeah. So on that sense, kind of, have to big it up. But yeah, everyone's timelines do get full of that. It's true, and people have a bit of a whinge about that happening. But then lots of people do seem to win whiskey. So
yeah, exactly. Whinging comes hand in hand.
Ups and downs, isn't it? You can always hide that term if you don't want to see it.
Yeah. And speaking of whinging, how funny was it that we released last week's episode on the same day as the Springbank release? Purely by chance.
That was purely by chance. So if people think we planned that, we didn't. We didn't plan it.
No, we had no idea.
Yeah, we really didn't have any idea. I've really been sort of tuning out of that stuff and just going after handfill at auctions.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't really think about it at all, and then it just dropped, and it happened to be at the same time. And actually, then I went all the way back to stage one of the grief, all the way back to anger again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, I just went straight into 5. Didn't care. Like, I think I put my name down for one ballot for the 21 and the 18. I'm not going to get it. I don't care.
Don't care.
Yeah, not bothered.
I feel like, if I'm being really honest, I'm mostly in the don't care camp, but still just a tiny bit of me, like 10% of me is in the I want it camp.
Feel the rage build within you. Look into the dark side.
Yeah, I'd love a bottle of Springbank 18 to open up. That'd be grand.
Good.
Good. Give it to me. The precious. Yeah, so probably not going to get one. Probably no chance this time. So yeah, just need to move as quickly through the stages as possible to acceptance again.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, I think my favourite release each year is probably local barley, not the 18s, and the 21's too expensive. I think for people drinking it, 260 quid is ridiculous for a bottle of whiskey. I know some people drink it and some people bottle split it, but it's ridiculous.
Goes out my £10 a year thing. I mean, I put in for it just for the fact that I don't think I'll ever really own a bottle of it, and if I do, happy days. So,
easy to split it. I guess it's also easy to split it if you get it.
Yeah, there's been some mega splits again coming out. I think 35 quid for local barley, 21, all the collection basically.
I think I'm going to be looking out for a tasting. Do you remember Livians did a tasting, didn't they, as well?
It was Livians.
Yeah, Livians. But there's loads of people that do it. I think I'll just look out for a tasting, and if there's a tasting where I can try some of the releases, that'll do me.
Yeah,
even if it costs like 50 quid or something or whatever.
Oh yeah, I want to kind of revisit the Hazelburn. That's kind of something I'm building up towards getting a bit needy on that front. I'm like,
Hazelburn.
Tasted a decent amount of it.
I've got some you can try. So
yeah.
I've got
Thanks.
I've got that 12-year-old Oloroso.
Is that the one I turned my nose up at last time?
Probably.
I was just raging.
Yeah,
because I was in stage 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, so I think it's I think today from me probably a shorter episode. We reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
But we've got a big thing planned coming out next week.
Got some big things brewing. We're recording tomorrow as well. So yeah. We'll let you know
busy
more about that. But yeah, hopefully good direction for the pod.
Yeah, and, let's see. Yeah. We'll find out, won't we? If you want to share any tips about how you manage your calories in your whiskey consumption, feel free to let us know. Same thing with any of the kind of recent episodes. If you want to reach out to us about Pulling Island drams, or if you have a story about smuggling whiskey into house, just let us know. Contact us. Just contact us on social. Basically, is easier. But so that'd be like whiskey tip for me or whiskey wings for Mike. Just
obviously messages. Honest to a Malt. And all of the socials. I think we're on Blue Sky now as Honest to a Malt.
I haven't done that yet. I'll do that soon. Yeah.
We will be very shortly.
Yeah.
If anyone has invites and things for that, please send it to other whiskey people because there's literally no one on there. We can take this whole community. We can just take over the app.
Well, it's going to happen soon, isn't it? Because X is just going down the pan. I think they're going to stop you allowing to block people. TweetDeck's done. There's loads of weird stuff going on. So I think it'll happen very soon.
A lack of TweetDeck really did annoy me on a few things. So yeah, I know it didn't impact you as much as others on blind drams, but it hinders some people. But yeah, I don't know. Elon's got to pay for those rockets somehow, hasn't he?
Yeah, send him to the moon. All right, cheers from me.
Yes, cheers from me, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye, bye, bye.
I sometimes just eat meat.